Hey everybody, Mike Chipperini from Chipper's Island Adventures. And today I'm going to talk about the latest in the general RV fraud. Hey everybody, Mike Chipperini here, and about 4 or 5 months ago I did a video on the RV fraud. Now if you don't know anything about this, what it is that between the years of 2014 to 2017, a number of people financed their new rigs from General RV. Well, they thought they were getting a 240 month loan, which is 20 years, 240 months. And it turns out, they didn't find this out till way later, that they actually had 120 month, a 10-year loan, with 119 payments being fixed. And then the 20th or the 120th payment being a balloon payment. So imagine you're paying, we'll say $700 a month for your RV for almost 10 years, but the last payment, the 120th payment, is $69,000 or something to that effect. Of course, these people were all in shock, and they were talking to General RV. General RV wasn't doing anything about it. Well, at any rate, let's fast forward to a couple weeks ago. Because Fox 13 out of Salt Lake City, Utah, brought this to the forefront, the state investigated, and what they found was outright fraud. I mean, they narrowed it down to 4 individuals, one of whom they have no idea where that person is, and 3 others who are in the state, but they will not name their names. And what they found is these payments or these contracts were definitely fraud. And the thing is the way it was found out is people started looking at their documentation for whatever reason, and they noticed there was a smudge. Or you know, it's apparent. Look at this picture. It's a change. You can easily see the 240 with 119 stamped over it. And they started noticing this, and they brought it forward, like I said. At any rate, I don't know why they would be doing that as far as frauding the customer like that. I don't know. I don't understand how it makes sense. I mean, what's the difference really? Maybe somebody can help me out here. Between 240 months of straight payments and then versus 120. Unless that was the only way they could get it financed. Now, the good news is the credit unions who finance these loans are apparently stepping up and making a fix. But there's bad news. One, these guys can't be prosecuted because there's a statute of limitations of about 4 years on matters that concern these, such as financial fraud. There's a statute of limitation of 4 years in the state of Utah. Now, they know where 3 of the individuals are. And apparently, one of the better news is that General RV they were totally cooperative, is my understanding. However, I can't find one single public comment from General RV on this matter, except 4 or 5 months ago when they were denying any responsibility. And the responsibility came about only because Fox 13 out of Salt Lake, Utah, kudos to them, brought it to the forefront, and then the state stepped up and investigated it because it was that profound of a fraud that the state stepped in and investigated this. And these loans, like I said, date back from 2014 to 2017. Now, like I said before, I bought my rig from General RV, and each dealership, I'm not sure how it works in the RV industry. If the dealerships are all owned by one corporate company, or if they're franchises like a McDonald's. You know, they have the name, excuse me, they get the support, but they're their own entity. Well, the bottom line is that it says General RV, and there aren't that many. There's enough in the country, but we're not talking McDonald's, we're talking RV dealerships. And it appalls me to know that they haven't stepped up and said, hey, we had some very bad employees back between the years of 2014, 2017. Thankfully, they're no longer in our employment. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about it. Hey, you customers who went through hell and back over this, why don't you come down to our store and we're gonna go do something for you. You know, I don't know what it is they can do for them. Maybe they can give them free maintenance or something to assuage their feelings. Because what they went through, I can't imagine thinking I have a loan that is, you know, $600 a month for the next few years, only to find out that next year I get a $70,000 balloon payment, or I lose the rig. Nobody can, you know, there's very few people that can do that. So I'm kind of dismayed at General RV, especially when I see people, you know, praising companies like RV1 or National Indoor RV Centers or whatever, and I don't see their name plastered across the headlines of news agencies in a negative way. I see complaints, you know, like we do with all RV, especially the service departments. But General RV, you need to step up. You need to step up, take responsibility, whether it's on behalf of these individuals or not, and acknowledge that something went bad and do it publicly. And try to make it right with your customers that went through hell and back. They went through a lot of stress, these people. So that's about it for my 2 cents. I just think it's totally wrong. And, you know, I don't think there's anything more to say on that. But the bottom line is they're not going to be charged, these 4 individuals. I would love it if they just at least release their names. You know, why not? They're bad guys. Thankfully, they're not employed by General RV. And like I said, one of them, they don't even know where it is. Hey, listen. Chipper's Island Adventures. If you like this video, hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Let's keep this going. And happy RVing out there. And feel free to leave comments on this mess. I'm glad there's a good outcome for all those involved who experienced the negative side of this fraud. I'm glad there's an outcome on that, positive outcome. All the best to all. Happy RVing.